Well, welcome to the fourth part of the uh, well international economic relations lecture of the Marxian economic sector series. This lecture series is uh, part of the Marxian economics course, which is taught in the Minas Signal University Northern Cyprus campus. Last time actually we have seen different critiques to the Ricardian models, let's say, lacked or missing parts. We might add we have started to add another critique, which was basically, we have just started to look to the case when the Mexico, for example, instead of basically instead of buying basically selling 250 units of food, sells 300 units of food and gets in return 100 units of non-food items. So in this case, the food Mexico has is less than the option 3. Non-food items Mexico has is more than option 3. So is Mexico better off in this case? And our immediate answer might be yes, it is better off because if Mexico is might be, let's say for now, because if Mexico is acting freely with its free will in trade, since it decides to let's say have 50 units of less food and 50 units of more non-food items, it should be better off in this case. However, we should note that Mexico is not a single decision making, let's say, unit, or at least within Mexico, we have different people who might have different welfare levels and who might be affected by the international trade in different ways. And note that, usually the demand in the market economic system, the main demand, the utility level we measure, overall utility level we measure, depends on the will of the people who have higher buying power. Those are the people with higher level of income. So in the market, not everyone is equal. The billionaires, their will, their utility level, their preferences is much more important and effective in changing the demand factor, changing the demand that is felt in the market, compared with maybe in some cases thousands, sometimes maybe 10,000, if we are talking about a billionaire, people who are working with at the minimum wage. So that might mean actually, demand when basically people in Mexico who are able to buy and sell, have higher buying power, they might be preferring to consume more non-food items. More, for example, computers, more blue jeans, I don't know, more US cars, cars coming from the United States, produced in the United States. Since those people have a higher buying power, their will to buy cheaper non-food items might have a higher impact, while the vast majority might, for those people, the food items, they might already consist very little part of their budget. So when they sell majority of the foods to the United States, when the available quantity of food in the Mexico gets smaller and the food prices in Mexico as a result get higher, those people might not be harmed because the food budget might already be a small part of their budget. However, those people whose buying power is highest in Mexico might be a minority in Mexico. easily 10%. It could be 10% or 20% minority. Vast majority might rather have a very little or maybe no spending on the non-food items, except clothing and some items might be still important. But food might consist of a very large part of their budget, maybe 50, maybe 60%, maybe more. So they might be harmed a lot when, as a result of international trade, the Mexico end up with smaller number of the food items. So basically, when you have large amount of inequality, in the end, even though Mexico as a unit might be benefiting, actually vast majority of the people might be harmed from the international trade, because well, in economics, basically the regular economics indexes, basically, well, a small minority with higher buying power, well, has a much more power to determine the preferences of a country compared with, let's say, a huge majority with, however, small, even when we are talking about the collective buying power. Well, their buying power, their income remains smaller than them. This small minority. So this is the case of well, these are actually the critiques of this trade model. Well, Marxian model, we might basically say, instead of looking to the countries as single units which benefit or not benefit from the trade. Well, you might know that in neoclassical economics and mainstream economics, we have usually traditional models and countries that are acting as one, as if they are one person, and people who are acting as if all of them are similar. But Marxian economics, at least to some extent, doesn't do it perfect sense. It could be done in a better way, and in this sector, actually, to some extent, we will try to do that. But likes to present the differences between the people, and I mean especially capitalists and the labor and their interests, how their interests might be basically contradicting with each other. And basically, the Marxian model looks how international trade is actually affecting those internal relations within the country, instead of looking, as I said, the country as one unit. But we might also try to use the model to kind of discuss the critique to the Ricardian model, where we have seen in the long run actually the trade might be harming the country. This discussion will also be part of, I mean, we will see how far this discussion can be applied to this model. And actually the original model is pretty much a model where we have just the Arrighi himself, who has built the model, just looks to them trade, the mobility of goods. But well, in this course, I will also try to apply the same model to the capital mobility and to the labor mobility. And labor mobility, actually, I would like to make a longer discussion beyond international economic relations, even there. So our starting point is basically, well, we have two countries, Poland and Germany. Poland produces food. Germany produces non-food commodities. In that case, they are similar to the Ricardian case. We might think actually each country has a small sector of, Germany might have a small sector which is producing food, Poland might have the other type, small sector which is producing non-food items. But the sectors that are trading out their goods to the outside, the other countries might be, for Poland, agriculture, for Germany, non-agricultural goods. So in that case, our assumption is good enough. So let's now reproduce this basically. I mean, as you might have guessed, well, this model is very much similar to the model which we have seen under profits and prices chapter, where we have also looked to the transformation problem. So we have two countries, Germany and Poland, and each one is representing one sector. Germany is representing non-food sector, non-agricultural sectors, all of them combined, and Poland represents agricultural sectors. And in each sector, we have a C, we have a V, we have S. Of course, the sizes of these sectors might be different, and which might be something significant, but for now we are ignoring that fact. Let's assume the sizes are similar to each other. And, we have exchange value and we have profit. Without trade, each country is acting as if they are closed, basically. So in that sense, actually, we don't have any balancing. So we might start with, so basically, the profit rates in both countries might be different from each other, since when there is no trade. It's possible, capital cannot be moved from one country to other country. If capital can move, of course, then we have the case of capital mobility, which we will study. But for now, capital is not able to move. In that case, basically, this is 5, 10, 10. Is I doing right? I think I am doing wrong. Poland was at the top, actually. So 10, 5, 5. Germany is a more capital-rich country. Poland is more labor-rich country, so that's still the reverse. Let's do that this way. If you just want to have a more relevant case, maybe you can make this 20, 10, 10, which will be still okay, which will give similar results. Although now Poland's effect will be, Poland will be affected more since it's a small country. For Germany, Poland is a small, relatively small country. Poland's effect on Germany will be relatively smaller, but Germany's effect on Poland will be larger. So exchange value is in this case 25, in this case 20. And profit is, we should divide S to the V plus C, which is the total capital level, which is same in both countries. And I should multiply this with 100 to find the profit rate. Okay, let's go down. So in Germany, profit rate is 66.7%. In Germany, the profit rate is 33.33%. Because Germany might be more developed country, however, in a developed country, as capital becomes more common, in that case, the profit rates might be falling down. But in return, actual case in Germany might be very well 20, 10, 10. So, and the basic relations will be still same. Just for fun, actually, let's keep this. So now, Ari's main claim is very easy. Germany, as the main country, it might arrange terms of trade. It can basically decrease the price of the Polish output below its exchange value, and it can increase the price of its own products above their exchange value. If Germany can do that, and Germany can do that especially if there are many countries like Poland, which basically produce agricultural products, and not many countries like Germany which are producing non-agricultural products, and especially if those countries are acting together. And if Poland becomes dependent on the German products one way or the other, in that case Germany can have some power to manipulate the prices, basically. So we will see what follows next in the coming part. So see you in the next part, basically.